Hello and welcome to SudoKanard. This is another video in English about Kakuro. And I've chosen a puzzle by Fikes from Grandmaster Puzzles. It was published in August of 2019 and this is how it looks. So this one is not a variant of Kakuro, it's classic Kakuro, and I just recall the rules very quickly. You need to put digits in all the blank cells, all the white cells. Not sure which one is better. I guess both work. And every time you have consecutive cells between black walls, between dark walls, or between a wall and just the border of the grid, you need all digits to be different. So these can't be 5 and 5. And, well, why 5 and 5? Because there's the other rule that all these digits add up to the number that is in the margin. Here, this 21 is the sum of those three digits. This 21 is the sum of those three digits. And I think that's all there is to it. Now, on the website Grandmaster Puzzles, you have those landmarks. No, that's not the correct term. Where you have those reference times, which mean that if you solve the puzzle in less than 10 minutes, then you are a grandmaster. And for this particular puzzle, there's not a great gap between the grandmaster time and the master time. And as always, master time is half expert time, or perhaps it can be looked at the other way. The expert timing is twice that, is double the timing of a master. And while I consider myself to have some kind of expertise on the matter, I generally have a timing that is much higher than the expert timing. Okay, let's not beat around the bush further and let's start solving. Well, I start with this because 7 with 3 digits can only be 1, 2, and 4. 4 with 2 digits can only be 1 plus 3, so the only common digit is 1, and 1 goes here, with a 3 here, and the other 2 digits must be 2 and 4. Same here. We now have a 1 here, a 3 here, and 2 and 4 in here. And that's nice because we have a 2-4 pair. We know now that 2 and 4 are in these cells in some order. But there's still plenty of choice for the other 3 cells. About these ones, one of them must contain a 1, but we don't know which one yet. This 6 has to be 1, 2, 3. That's the only decomposition of 6 in 3 different digits, and there's not enough information to decide where they go. Let's look elsewhere. This 16. 16 with 2 clues is 7 plus 9. And you can't put a 9 here because you would need to have a sum of 2 with those 2 digits, and that's not possible. So that's a 7, that's a 9, and the other 2 digits must be 1 and 3. Same here, 7 and 9. Those must be 1 and 3, and because of this 7, which has to be 1, 2, 4, this is a 1, this is a 3, and this resolves the 1-3 pair here. And this 7 needs another 2 and 4. So these ones must add up to 8. Oh, and we don't have this sum, so something will have to be disambiguated, but don't know how right now. Oh, another 4 and 7. So that's a 1, that's a 3, and these are 2 and 4. There seems to be some symmetry in the grid. And actually, on Grandmaster puzzles, a theme is mentioned: clue symmetry and logic. This 16 has only one decomposition. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 6. So this is not a 2. This 4, it could be 1 and 7, could be 2 and 6, could be 3 and 5, could be 6 and 2. Well, all 4 digits other than 4 can fit this place. So I think this will be resolved very late in the game. This 23 has only one decomposition. It's 6, 8, and 9, and only 6 is small enough to fit in this 8 clue. So that's a 6, that's a 2. Now, we can't put a 9 in here, same logic as this one. So I put an 8, the 9 goes there, and to complete to 11, we need now 2 digits added up to 3, that's 1 and 2, and because of these 2, we put it in this order, 1 and 2. This 18 clue needs another 16, and there's only one way, that's 7 plus 9. And we see that in the 23, in that 23 sum, we need, well, we don't need a 7, only 9 is possible. So that's 7 and 9 in this order. Now we need to put 6 and 8 in those cells, but 6 would require another 6, and the repeating digits are not allowed, so that's an 8, that's a 6, and this is a 4. Oh, something similar happens here. 23, so that's a 6, that's a 2, and this resolves the 2-4 pair. Now we need an 8 and a 9, but a 9 couldn't go there because the 4 remaining digits would add up to 9, and the minimum you can make with 4 different digits is 1, 2, 3, 4, adding up to 10. So this is 8, this is 9, and those digits must be 1, 2, 3, 4 in some order. And because of this 2 and this 4, this has to be 1 or 3. And this can only be 3 or 4. Because 2 digits have a maximum sum of 17, that's 9 plus 8. So this must be at least 3. And those must be now either 7 plus 9 or 8 plus 9. And this has to be 4, 3, or 2 according to which digit goes in this cell. This 7 is 1, 2, and 4, and only 4 is enough to fit this cell, because 1 or 2 would require a two-digit number here, and we put single-digit numbers. So that's a 4, and that's an 8, and these ones are 1 and 2. Those 45 sums are somewhat annoying because 45 is the sum of all digits. So, and actually we can see that these are 9 digits regions, 9 digits alignments. So they must contain every digit from 1 to 9. And what I mean by that is that those 45 sums don't give us any clue, actually. They just state that all 9 digits are on this alignment. And we have those 4 and those 2. We have 6 9-digit sums. Oh, this 23 is once again 6, 8, and 9. So that this is 6 or 9. And actually, only 6 can go in there. Because, once again, those 4 digits have a minimum sum of 10. So this has to be at most 7. So it has to be 6. So this one is a 9. This one is an 8. Now those 4 digits must add up to 11. And 11 with 4 different digits has only one decomposition, which is 1, 2, 3, and 5. So this can't be a 4. This must be a 2. This is a 4. This is a 2. This is a 4. Now 8 has a 4, and those 2 digits must add up to 4, and the only way is 1 plus 3. And because of this 3, this is 1 here and 3 there. And now we need in those cells 1, 3, and 5. So this is a 5, this is a 1, this is a 3, and this 3 resolves the 1, 2 pair. Well, I'm starting to think that these timings only reflect the fact that there are lots of digits to fill in the grid. But the logic seems to flow well. For the time being, it's being, I won't say straightforward, but there's been really a nice flow to it. Well, let's see if we can keep the pace. Here is a sum of 9. So these 2 digits must add up to 12. And 12 with 2 digits has 3 decomposition. 3 decompositions. 3 plus 9, 4 plus 8, 5 plus 7. 3 and 5 have already been used, so it's only 4 plus 8, and this 4 lets us put the digits in the right places. Now we have 14 for 21 clues, so these digits must add up to 7, and the only possibility is with 1 plus 6, because 2 and 4 are not available. So that's a 1, that's a 6. Now, those digits must add up to 27. There are several possibilities for 27 with 4 digits. One of them is 9873. One is 986 and 4, but we can't use this one. 4 is not available. Next we have 976 and 4, and I think that's it. And so this one is not available because of this 4, and I don't think we can disambiguate between those two. So let's look elsewhere. Oh, this cell is restricted. Only 4, 5, and 7 can go there, but it's too early for that. Oh, this 18. We now need 17. That's 8 and 9. But I don't think it can be a 9, because if this is a 9, we now need another 4, and 4 will be with 1 and 3, and 1 and 3 are both unavailable for this cell. So it has to be an 8. We now need a sum of 5. And the smallest digit we can put in there is 4, and the other is 1, and this makes the correct result. So now 5 is unavailable for this, 4 is unavailable for this cell, so it has to be 5 or 7. This can't be a 9, and this can't be an 8 either, because 9 plus 8 would be 17, and we would need to have a sum of 9 with the other 4 digits, and this is not possible. The minimum is 10. So this can't be 8, so this has to be 5 or 7 as well. And the other 2 digits in this region must be 8 and 9, and this is not a 9, so this is an 8, and this is a 9. What next? Now this 24 must be 9, 8, and 7. So this is 3, 4, or 5 to complete this 12 sum. This 16 must be 7 plus 9. There's a 9 here, so this is 7, this is 9. These must be 1 and 3, and once again with this 7, this is 1, this is 3. And this rules out the 3 in this cell and the 9 in this cell. And now 9 can only go here. And I write this in a more readable way. These must be 2 and 4. We don't have this sum. We have to find another way. Where can I look now? Oh. These digits are 1, 2, and 3. Here's 1. Here are 1 and 3. So this is a 2. This can't be 2 or 3. So this is a 1. That's a 3. That's a 9. Oh, 1 plus 2 plus 3. So that's 6. Those must add up to 24. The only way of having 24 as a sum of 3 digits is 7, 8, 9. So this can only be a 7, this an 8, this a 9. Now we know. So I had written the only possibilities for this 31, and we now know it contains a 9 and an 8, so these have to be 7 and 3, and because of this 3, that's a 7, that's a 3. With this 15, we now need 7, so these have to be 1, 2, and 4. Here, with 9 and 2, we need another 9, and the only possible decomposition of 9 as the sum of 3 digits other than 2 is 1, 3, and 5. So this must be a 5, this must be a 1, this must be a 3. Now, that's a sum of 4, so these must add up to 23. So 6, 8, and 9, there's an 8, there's a 9, so that's a 6. And these must be 8 and 9. That's 9, so we need another 12 without using 3 or 5, so this has to be 4 and 8, and with this 8, that's a 4, that's an 8. resolving the 8-9 pair. This must add up to 4, that's 1 and 3, and with this 3, this is how it goes. This is not a 1. Now, that's 17. We need another 11 with 4 digits. That's 1, 2, 3, and 5. So this can't be a 4. That's a 1. That's a 4. We now need 1, 3, and 4, 5. 3 can't go there. 3 is down there. And the other two cells must be 1 and 5. Now, we still need to put 1, 2, 3, and 5. And oh, 3 doesn't go here, here, or there, so it must be here. So these ones must now be 1, 2, and 5 in some order. This can't be a 1. Now, what digits do we have? Oh, a 1 here would put a 9 there, repeating the digits, so 1 is not possible. So 1 has to go down there. And it yields a 5 and a 1 and a 4 and an 8 and a 7. Oh, that's a lot of digits. So now 5 would require another 5, so that's a 2 actually. This is a 5. That's a 2, and that's an 8. And how can we possibly resolve that? We need, we need 2, 4, and 6. 4 doesn't go here or there, so 4 is here. That's a 6. 2 would produce another 6, so no, that's a 6, that's a 2, and that's a 2. And this is 6 or higher. What can this be? It can't be 1, 3, or 5, but there's plenty of other possibilities. Could it be a 7? 7 would produce a 1 and there a repeated 9, so no. So this is not 7. So it has to be an even digit. 2 or 6. 2 would give a 6 and a 4. That's fine. 2 would give a 6. Oh, 6 would give a 2 and an 8. That's not fine. So this is 2, 6, and 4. Now that's a 4. This is not a 4. This is not a 4. Oh, this side is already in a good state. Oh, this 7 rose up the 7 here. I think this could have been done much earlier. Now we have a 9 and a 7 with a sum of 16. We need another 10, so that's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Oh, this can only be a 4 because those two cells have a maximum of 17, so this has a minimum of 4, and we only have 1, 2, 3, 4, so this has to be a 4. So this is 2 or 3, this is 1, 2 or 3, this is 1, 2 or 3, and now this must be 8 and 9, but 9 would produce a repeated 1, so This is an 8, this is a 9, that's a 2, so that's a 3. These are 1 and 2 in some order. That makes a total of 6. We need another 13. Well, there are several possibilities for this 13. I don't think I can disambiguate right now. Let's have a look down there. Now, this can only be 2 or 6 or 8, but 8 is not possible because 8 would make 24 and the remaining 2 cells should add up to 2, which is not possible. Could it be a 6? 6 would make 22. We would need 1 and 3. And that seems to be possible. So I'll leave it there. Oh, this cell can only be a 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9. That can only be a 6. And now the remaining 3 cells in this row must be 7 and 9. So this is 7 or 8, 7, 8 or 9, 7, 8 or 9. And these ones must be 1, 2, 3, 4. So this can only be a 2. 1, 3 or 4, 1 or 4, 1, 3 or 4. Oh, but this sum is restricted because this is at most 9, so these 2 digits have a maximum total of 12, so these must add up to at least 6. So the only possibility is to have 2 and 4. And this is a 1, this is a 3. Oh, I write them this way. Now this is a 1, this is 9, and now we have a 7, 8 pair. This is a 9. If I put an 8 in here, I have 17, and these cells must add up to 4, which require a 1 and a 3. That's not possible. So this has to be a 7. And this must be an 8. These digits add up to 5 without using a 1. So that's 2 and a 3. And 2 goes there, 3 goes there. Those must add up to 5 without using here 1, 2, or 3. The only possibility is 4 here and 1 there. Resolving the 1, 2 pair. And look at that. This one cascades into, this one snowballs into 3, 4, and 2 here. So this is not a 2. These 2 digits must add up to 16, so they must be 7 and 9. And we've ruled out the 2 here, so it rules out the 9. So that's 7 here, 9 there, 4 here. And how do we fill those cells? Maybe I need to know those digits first. Just wondering. What could those be? It couldn't be this way, because we would need now 8 and 4. it couldn't be a 6 here because it would repeat here. Could it be 7 and 6 in this order? It would bring 5, 7. That looks possible. Could it be 5 and 8? This looks possible as well, so I think we need to have those digits first. So what could possibly go there? We have a sum of 12. We need another 11. 11 won't be done with 9 plus 2, nor with 3 plus 8. But it can't be 4 plus 7 because none of those digits can be 4, so it has to be 5 plus 6. But which way around? We need to address this area. We need a 9 in this row. It can't go there, it can't go there, it can't go there. This is a 9. And these 3 digits must now be 3, 7, and 8. 6, 7, and 8. So this is 6 or 8. Oh, I already ruled out the 8. So it has to be a 6. 8 goes there, 7 goes there, using this 8. Now, these add up to 22. The remaining 4 is 1 plus 3, 1 in here, 3 in there. Now, to complete this 27, we need another 10, adding 3 digits without using 1, so that's 2, 3, and 5. 5 in here, 2 in here, 3 in there. This is 10. We need another 22 without using the 6. That's 9, 8, and 4, and 5. 9 and 8, so this is a 5. 8 and 9. Now this 5 disambiguates the 6, 5 pair. That's a 1. We need another 16. That's 7 plus 9. And with this 7, this is 9 here and 7 there. So this is an 8. This is a 9. And would you expect it? The only possible digit here is a 6. That's incredible. That's a very, very nice setup. Now, on to this last quarter, this last 2 by 2 square. So what can this be? I should have pencil marked my former tries. So this has to be at least 6. Those must add up to 13. This is at least 6. So if we try a 6, then we have 7, 5, and 7. Well, this is possible, but I want to rule out all other possibilities. If I put a 7, then I need a 6, and this repeats the 6. If I put an 8, this puts a 5, a 7, and a 5, and that's a repeated 5 in this column. So that's not possible. And last try, with a 9 here, we put a 4, an 8, and a 4, and that repeats the 4. So the only possibility is the first that I had tried, and that completes the whole grid. And I think everything's fine. with a total of 31 minutes or so. That's not much more than the expert timing, so I'm pretty satisfied with my sew. I was never stumped, I think. I did it all at a correct pace, a fair pace, and I'm pretty satisfied. I hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you enjoyed this sew. Thank you for watching my sew of this very nice Kakuro by Fikes. See you soon on SudoKanard.